So we're going to get started with this. Tonight's presentation, if you want to call it that, our talk. I want to talk to you guys about goals, because goals has been a huge part of my life, and it wasn't until about 3 years ago. Before that, I pretty much just kind of wandered through life and just felt like, you know, life happened to me. I was just there and I just did what everyone else did. And I had no intentionality behind anything that I did. In 2016, just to give you guys a little bit of background on me, 2016, I was, I believe, 27-ish, maybe, give or take. I was going through a divorce, becoming a single mom. I was drowning in debt, and I pretty much drank myself to sleep every single night and was hungover almost every single day. And it wasn't until the fall of 2016, when my divorce was finalized, that I got a call from my credit union that said, all right, Mrs. Sainert, you haven't made payments on your car in the past 3 months. We're going to come repossess it. That was a literal wake-up call that I had, where I was like, man, I think it's finally time to change my life. Like, I think it's time to do something. So because I was a single mom, I had moved in with my mom, which was fantastic, but at the same time, going from being a wife and a mom and having a house and a car and a dog and all of the debt that came along with it, it was kind of a blow to my ego. You know, you go from here to, oh, I live at home with my mom at 27 years old, and I'm drowning in debt, and they're gonna come take my car, and I've got a kid. And so it just started to kind of compound, and I didn't really know what to do. So that was the first time in my entire life that I'd ever set a goal for myself. And that goal was to become debt-free. So at that time, I had $35,700 worth of debt, and of course, one income. But thankfully, I lived with my mom, so I had no bills. Yet I was still broke, and they were still gonna take my car. So I did, the first thing that I could think of was just Google, how to get out of debt. And the first thing that popped up was Dave Ramsey. Have any of you guys ever heard of? Okay, yeah, Dave Ramsey. So Dave Ramsey changed my life. What he did was he gave me a plan. I didn't have to come up with any ideas. All I did was, he said, do this, and I did it. And 17 months later, I became debt-free. So that's all I did. I found a plan, I committed to the plan, I followed the steps, and it worked. But the pivotal point of this story, the pivotal point of my life, was when I realized, oh, I can't get emotional. I can't get emotional. No. Was when I realized that I had the mental strength to endure discomfort for an extended period of time. 17 months of I was going out. I still was battling the whole alcohol issue, but I wasn't spending as much money on going out. I was not buying new clothes. I was not going to concerts. I was not going out to the bar as much as I normally would have. And I was still feeling the overwhelming emotions of defeat. But yet, I stuck to it. Did I make mistakes? Absolutely. There were moments that I still remember, that stupid green sweater that I bought at Walmart that I still wear to this day, where I did get off track. But somehow, I don't know how, somehow I was able to figure my way back out and get back on track. So when I hit that goal, I was like, this is the exact thing that I said to myself. If I can do that, what else can I do? If I could be that uncomfortable and make that many sacrifices for 17 months to get me to a place where I have financial freedom and I can do whatever I want, what else could I do? So that's when my fitness journey began. So I became debt-free in February of 2018, and I first stepped in here in April of 2018. And in here, I came here just to see what I could do, but mainly I wanted to take care of my mentality. I was still drinking, and I didn't feel the best about myself. So I was like, I'll just do something for me, an hour a day. And the moment that I came in here, I've never looked back. So the why has changed my life, Dave Ramsey changed my life, but I changed my life because I uncovered what I call the secret to success, which is a prevailing mindset, a mindset that you will overcome anything that's in front of you. You will overcome it regardless of how painful, how frustrating, how challenging, how exhausting it may be. You are able to do that. But how? I had no idea. I really didn't. I just did it. I just do. I just go. I don't have an off button. I just do it. So I started to figure out, okay, well, what's my next goal? So I wasn't a runner at all. I hated running. It's like, we'll set a running goal. Why not? Why not? I mean, I hate it. Let's just see what I can do. So I set a goal to run a 5K, and I did it. So then I was like, well, if I can do that, what else can I do? So I was like, okay, why not sign up for a bikini competition? Right? That's the next logical step. So I did it, and I completed it, okay? After that, I was like, well, let's get back into running. Well, I did a triathlon, and I did a 10K, and I did a half marathon. And this is not a way to brag, it's just to show you guys, once you uncover your strength and your power in your mind, the world is literally at your fingertips. You can do anything that you want. You want to quit your job and be a stay-at-home mom? Great, you can do it. You want to start your own business? Great, you can do it. You want to compete on stage? Great, you can do it. Whatever it is that you guys want, you can do it. You really can. That is exactly what She Prevails means and what it represents. So how do we get there? So I had to think, okay, there's got to be a process, because I was doing these things and they were goals in different areas of life. They weren't all just fitness or all finance. There were spiritual goals, there were mental goals, or there was a lot of different goals. So what did I do? How did I do it? So I wrote it down for you guys, and it's kind of a step-by-step process. You can do it now as we walk through it, or you guys can take it home and kind of spend a little bit more time on it. But the first thing, first of all, my goal with this is I want you guys to have something to take away from this that's an action plan. I want you to walk out of this room and say, I look at that bottom box and I know exactly what I need to do today to get me to my goal in 30 days, 60 days, 5 years from now, whatever it is. So that's the goal with this. So at the top, the first thing that you have to do is you have to figure out, what do you want your goal to be? What do you want to achieve? How do you want to feel? I call it future pacing. Just close your eyes when you're doing this. You think about, what does that person look like? Like, what does Kayla look like? What do I look like? What do I feel like? How much money do I have in the bank? What kind of car do I drive? How do my kids treat me? How do people look up to me, or do they look up to me? What is my job? What impact am I making in the world? What do you truly want? And the key to this is dreaming big. It's so easy for us, and I think easy for women, to put ourselves in this little box and limit ourselves and say, I'm only supposed to be this. No, you're not. You're not. Like, you guys, literally, I can't explain it enough. You can literally do anything that you want. You just have to figure out what you want. And if you don't know, that's okay. Just take baby steps. But allow yourself to dream big without judgment, where you're not judging yourself saying, I can't do that. Like, I would love to be on stage with Rachel Hollis. Okay, well, how am I going to get there? And people were probably like, well, that's a little crazy. Like, you really think you're going to do that? But I am in charge of my goals and my dreams, not anyone else. So allow yourself to dream big and think, what do I want to do? No, I haven't, but I would love to. I'm going to. So step one, figure out what is your goal, okay? Figure out your goal. What do you want to do? Dream big. Don't limit yourself. So once you have that goal, usually the next step is look at your goal. Think about your goal. Write down your goal. Goal, goal, goal all day long. That's all you're going to focus on. But that may be one of the biggest mistakes when it comes to goal setting, is all we do is we focus on the end product. So let's say you have an end goal of, I want to lose 20 pounds. So every day you're probably like, lose 20 pounds, lose 20 pounds, lose 20 pounds. It's written everywhere. It's on your phone. It's in your car. It's on your bathroom mirror. But nothing's happening. So that is what I call a product goal. That is the end product that you're shooting for. But what you really need to be focusing on is what's called a process goal. So it's like bite-sized pieces. What are the things that I can do today that will get me closer to my goal? So if you want to lose 20 pounds, what are 3 things that you can do every day that will get you closer? And be specific about them, not just eat healthy, sleep more, and work out. Okay, well, what are you eating? How often are you coming to the gym? What are you doing at the gym? How long are you going to be here? The more specific it is, the easier it is for you at the end of the day to say, did I work out for 30 minutes today? Yes, check. If you can check it off, then you know it's specific enough. Did I eat healthy? Yeah, except for the brownie that I had at lunch. You know, so be more specific. The more specific you are, the easier it is for you guys to actually achieve these things. So the key to process goals is you need 3 process goals for every one goal. So I'll give you another example, a financial goal. Even if you don't want to be debt-free, maybe you've got a credit card you want to pay off or whatever it is. I don't know. So 3 things you can do every day to get you closer to a financial goal, okay? I will not go out to eat. That's an easy. At the end of the day, yes or no, did you do it? Black or white, there's no question about it. Did I stay in my budget? Maybe you use cash, okay? Maybe you also say no to friends, like no to lunch dates with friends. Maybe not every day, but a week. Easy things at the end of the day. Did I do it? Did I not do it? So then 3 months from now, if you're like, well, I still haven't reached my goal. Well, yeah, because you're going out to eat with your friends every week. I mean, but if you don't know, your goal is, I want to pay off my credit card. But if you're not focusing on the process that it takes to get you there, you're never going to make progress. Does that make sense? Very easy. So first step, figure out what your goal is. Second step, come up with the 3 things that you're going to do to get you there. Wouldn't it be nice if it was that easy though, right? Life is just easy. Nothing happens. Nothing goes wrong. Nothing comes up. Okay? So we have to plan for what I call contingencies, for when things go wrong. For lack of better terms, there's no children. When shit hits the fan, what are we going to do? What's our plan? So you got to think, what could go wrong? And I know that's kind of a bad mindset, but you have to think, what obstacles am I going to face along the way?
That's wisdom. Yeah.
So you got kids, okay? Maybe something comes up with the kids. Maybe your goal is to lose weight, but you didn't meal prep. Time. Maybe you don't feel like it. You don't have the energy. You're running on 4 hours of sleep. Think about the things, kind of use this next step to brain dump and just say, what are some of the excuses that I like to make? Just be honest with yourself. Get it all out there. What are some of the excuses that I make? What are some of the obstacles that I'm going to face along the way? And then you get to sit down and figure out, how am I going to overcome it? And I think what makes this so important is you're doing this when you're not in that moment. When you're in the moment of crisis of, oh my God, it's not working the way that I thought it was going to work, and this is going wrong, and this is going wrong. You can't think straight. You don't have a plan. But if you take the time to plan before it goes wrong, then you go into it with a little more confidence. Maybe it still goes bad, but you go into it with a little bit more confidence, knowing, I knew this was going to happen. I knew that I was going to have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, where I was going to be running on 4 hours of sleep because I'm working all day long. But I knew I was going to do that. I knew what to expect, and I'm still going to go to that gym as soon as I leave here today. So it's building that confidence in you guys and yourselves to know, okay, I got this. I knew it was going to happen, or maybe you didn't know. If you didn't know it was going to happen, think about all the other times where you have overcome something, okay? That's when you go back to, if I can do that, what else can I do? If I can dig myself out of debt as a single mom living with my mom and not go mentally crazy, what else can I do? If I can do that, I know I've got this. I know that I'm mentally strong enough to do these other things too. So walking through this step by step will give you guys the tools, the knowledge, and the confidence to overcome anything in your lives. And when you do that, that's when you develop the superpower of a prevailing mindset. Once you have that, game on. It really is game on, because you guys now have the strength mentally, physically, because you're here to do whatever you guys want to do. So, what questions do you have for me? Whether it's about your journey, about mine, I'm an open book.
I have a personal question. You don't
Sure.
have to answer it in front of everyone.
Sure.
But you said it took you 17 months to pay off how much debt?
$35,700.
Annual salary then?
I think whenever I moved here, I took my position at $38,000. And then, of course, I worked my ass off. I worked all the time, and I gave 100% at my job because I knew if I did that, I would have a better opportunity of increasing my income. So the first thing I did on my journey was eliminate my expenses as much as possible, but you can only do that so much. Then you got to look at the other side. How can I increase my income? So it was working, side jobs, selling selling anything and everything I could, and then not participating in a lot of things. But by the time I paid my debt off, I was at $45,000. So, and at the end of it, I was paying $1,600 a month on my student loans because I was using the debt snowball. Yeah. Yep. But I think what made it so attainable for me was because I broke it down into bite-sized pieces. And that's what you have to do with every goal. It's overwhelming to think, I'm going to pay off $35,000 of debt by myself. Like, that's super overwhelming. How could I possibly do that? And that goes for any goal, whether it is a massive goal of how am I going to get on stage with Rachel Hollis, or is it how am I going to present in front of my friends and my team tonight? I have no idea what I'm going to say. So just baby steps, one thing at a time. What can I do today to get me closer to my goal tomorrow? What else? No? Nothing? What kind of goals do you guys have? Or what kind of struggles do you guys have? What's like a common thing that you find yourself, maybe even mentally, like on repeat? Is there something that you feel like is holding you back from going after something or from achieving something? Yes?
Well, I just have a question.
Okay.
What if I think it's something like it gets burnt out or hits that wall and they get halfway through and they decide that's not what their goal, what they wanted in a goal? What advice would you give them?
Well, I think that's a two-part answer. So you're allowed to change your goal. If you get into it and you're like, and your heart's not in it, you're allowed to change your goal. Also, if you feel like you still want to achieve that goal and you get to that point of burnout, that's when you need to turn to what I call your why. Why am I doing this? And your why must be written down. So it's written down for me on my refrigerator, taped up there. So in those days where you're like, I just don't want to do this, like my head's not in the game, I don't want to do this anymore, you literally walk up to the refrigerator and it's standing there saying, I want to be a role model for my daughter. Okay, well that makes it really hard to quit on yourself and quit on your goals when you're standing there looking at the reason why you started. So if you want to change, that's fine. Just don't quit, but you're allowed to have any goal. Your goal could be, I want to be a more present mom. That's still a goal, and there's still things that you have to do to get you there. But you're allowed to change, you're allowed to grow, you're allowed to do whatever you want to do. But good question. What else?
The 3 things that you check off each night, do you do that? You do physically do that every night?
I don't, but that would be a great practice to do that, yes. And it's really just a mental check for you, or even a literal check for you of, am I on track? So I did that a lot with my fitness competition that I did, just because it was so, you need to do this every single day. It was easy to do that, which that actually brings up a good point. Visuals, if you guys have a way to visually see progress. So towards the end of my debt-free journey, I had my daughter's Legos, and they were all stacked up on top of the mantle, and I took little yard sale stickers, and each Lego had a dollar amount on it. Some were 500, some were 1,000. And every time I got paid, we would go over there and take off the Legos of the amount of money that I paid. And you could see every month, I would take a photo and I'd just sit there and swipe like, wow, I did make a lot of progress. So any visual, if that is of a physical check mark at the end of the day, did I do these three things? If that helps you stay on track, then absolutely do that. But visuals are a good way to keep your head in the game too. Were you gonna ask a question?
Well, I don't know that you should feel required to answer the question.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out a way to not have to use social media so much. But as you know, like as an instructor, having a class, I'm trying to find a way around that. And at first I thought about using my husband, but I don't want him to have to feel like he has to be on there more either.
Okay.
So, I don't know. And you can even answer that later if you have.
Well, what is the reasoning behind it?
I would just like to not be on my phone.
Right.
Because I'm constantly answering questions and talking to other people, and it's a really thing.
Distraction.
And for me to say, oh, I'm only going to answer it at a certain time, I know how I am. That's really hard. I don't know.
Yeah. So that may be that was actually what I was thinking, was setting aside some time. I know exactly how you feel. Yeah. So it would be like a time management kind of thing of a block of time, and it would be, what'd you say?
Oh,
That's exactly what I was going to say. Time management and discipline of, you know, kind of like what you, right, and what you were talking about last night with the food, knowing if I eat this, this is the bad that's going into my body. Okay, well, if I spend this time on social media instead of this is what I'm missing out on, you know? So just figuring out a time to commit to social media. Maybe it's 30 minutes. Maybe it's 30 minutes like twice a day.
I was reading, I just finished a book about communication, and then the last chapter was about redeeming technology and retraining our mindset to this is inevitable. We're never going backwards.
Yeah.
This is here to stay. It's more and more and more and more. So accepting it for the gift that it is and treating it respectfully.
Right.
Not only just for yourself, but those around you. And
Sure.
setting that, and and he even said that in that book, like enjoying it for a certain amount of time, for a time that it's needed.
Right.
That be, that be that a certain time.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So
And
Can
having,
we read the 7 thing? That's really hard.
I get it. I'm constantly, but setting boundaries.
Have to deal with other people's disappointment. I'll
Right.
just have to deal with other people's disappointment.
that.
Right.
Which
Right.
I can do. It
Right.
just because of my personality and how I love everything.
Sure.
about it.
Think of it. So if you spent that time, how do I want to say this? If you spent that time focusing on responding to questions and things like that, but yet you didn't feel your best because you wanted to do other things and focus on other things, in a way, you may not be bringing the best version of yourself to the table to them. Like you're almost doing it out of like pressure or guilt or something like that. So it's like, that's not the best version of Heather. The best version of Heather is like, I want to do this, not I have to do this. Does that make sense?
This is the time that
So like,
I'm going to do it.
yeah, maybe just setting those boundaries and trying it and being flexible with yourself. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe you're like, I don't know. But yeah, just try blocking out some time, see what happens.
A large portion of time to start with. I mean, you
Or
can
even
always
just-
whittle it down.
Or even just saying, I can't respond to you right now, but I will get back to you on this later.
Yeah,
Ooh, I can type that up and copy and paste.
Copy
it
and
like
paste,
anytime I
yeah.
want to. Copy and paste.
copy and
Thanks for
paste.
the auto response.
Yeah,
I can't answer.
Well, my car does that. And then I freak out because my car's told them I cannot talk to them
I
right
will
now.
get back to you on this when I have a moment.
what else? Are there any other common struggles, or what about like mindset? Do you guys feel on your A game all the time? Because I sure as hell don't. Like I just had a breakdown twice this week.
My mindset is from stop sign to stop sign. Like
Okay.
when I say that, sometimes when I'm driving to work and I just absolutely don't have it in me to be on or
Yeah.
be the person I need to be. And because I am a personal trainer here, I am with people, I need to love them and be focused and concentrated. And I'm not kidding, I live a mile and a half away and sometimes it'll be stop sign to stop sign.
Yeah, to get
I
here.
can
And
talk to myself.
yes.
And it's that affirmation to myself,
Mhm.
and that, concentration. And I think getting in the habit of that, we don't realize that we have the power to change. Our brain chemistry changes with every thought we have, every single thought. So the more habits you make of the thoughts that you are allowing and repeating to yourself, it becomes positive quicker than you think it does.
Yeah.
You can retrain those negative things, by getting into the habit of changing those neural pathways in your brain.
Yep. And another way, something that I do very literally, when I am in what I call that downward spiral, where it's like one thing goes wrong and then everything is going wrong and you just can't get out of it and you just keep going and going. And usually I get to that point of overthinking everything, and I think the absolute worst situation possible. One thing that I found has been a game changer for me, and it's so dumb, it's so embarrassing. I will be in my car and I will just turn the music up as loud as I can and literally yell out loud, "Stop thinking.
Yes.
Stop thinking. Stop thinking." And I just say it over and over until that thought gets out of my mind. I do it when I'm afraid. I do it whenever I'm anxious, whenever I'm worried. If I don't know the outcome of a situation I'm getting ready to walk into, my mind starts to like fill in the blanks. Like, this is what's going to happen. I know this is what's going to happen. And then I just can't stop. But if I tell myself, stop thinking, like, just stop thinking. Don't think about anything. Or if you really want to go for that cookie at work, stop thinking. Stop thinking about the cookie. Stop thinking about pushing the snooze button. Stop thinking about like justifying the fact that you're not following through with the things that you said you were going to do. Just stop thinking and you just do the actions. And that really has been a game changer. I use it all the time, almost every single day. So next time you guys get in that spot of like trying to talk yourself out of something or maybe talk yourself into something that you shouldn't or wouldn't want to do, just stop thinking. Convince yourself to stop. What else? Any other struggles? Okay. Okay. Stop talking. Okay.
So much. You rock.
Thanks. You rock too.
I liked it.
Well, I'm glad you guys came. I really am an open book. I share my entire life with pretty much the whole internet. So if you guys have questions, I'm totally open to that. Anything?
I just have one more.
Sure.
As far as I can do something for like a week, you know, eat healthy for a week or whatever, but then after that, I'm just gonna start to not stay focused.
Okay.
So maybe this will help then if I look at this daily, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's too much. One thing that we fall kind of, not victim of, but it's very easy to go like balls to the wall. I'm going to do something and I'm going to go all in, which can be a good thing. I'm like that. But then you go so far that you're not even yourself. You don't even enjoy anything about it. You've taken everything away from your life that you have been used to like that. So it's not, no, you don't want to sit inside your comfort zone, but you don't want to go way the hell away either. You got to have you still. So it's going to be those baby steps to get you from point A to point B. And maybe that will help you realize like, yeah, this is uncomfortable, but I don't hate it. Like
Find a lifestyle change that you can live with.
Yes, but still being aggressive enough to get you there. Does that make sense?